Good evening, everybody. Welcome to SHN Sports presentation of Georgetown Eagle playoff baseball, and no other place I'd rather be, Kelly, than right here at the Dell Diamond for the state semifinals. Your Georgetown Eagles have been on a run. They've run through the playoffs, 5 series now, by district, area, regional quarters, regional semis, regional finals, and now the big show for high school baseball. We're live here at the Dell Diamond, and what a crowd of blue down the third baseline. Kelly, it doesn't get better than this.
The only person that's more excited that I'm here is my wife, because she was getting sick and tired of me being just giddy like a little kid, waiting for this opportunity to come to Dell Diamond and broadcast this game for the Georgetown Eagles semifinals. Trying to fight for a place in the state final tomorrow night. But good crowd of blue. We've got some Eastview supporters here who have come to help cheer on the Eagles tonight. We're excited for that, but good crowd showing up. I've got goosebumps. I cannot wait for first pitch.
Your Georgetown Eagles are the designated home team tonight here in the state semifinal, facing off against the Frisco Wakeland Wolverines, referred to from this point on as the Wakeland Wolverines. The Wolverines out of the first base dugout, the white pants, the orange jerseys with navy blue numerals, lettering, navy blue hats with the white front with the W on the front emblazoned on the front, the pinstripes on their pants with the high navy socks. Your Georgetown Eagles out of the third base dugout. They're in the old school throwback ivory whites with GWTN across the front, the blue socks, blue shoes, and the Georgetown blue hat with the G logo. Special shout out to the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club for all they do to make these broadcasts possible. And I tell you what, there's only one little piece missing, and we'll have that one momentarily as Dave's headed down to the camera box down on the third base side on the end of the dugout, and he'll be there on the field for us tonight. And what an opportunity. These Eagles come in, and they've been on quite a run. They come in overall 31-7, and their run through the playoffs is to be mirrored only by the Wakeland Wolverines.
Right.
11-1 through 5 series, only one loss in the playoffs, and that's matched by these Wolverines. They have gone 11-1 through the playoffs. Their only loss in the regional semifinals to the Lufkin Panthers, losing game 1 and then coming back and winning games 2 and 3. Your Eagles' only loss in the playoffs was back in the regional quarterfinals against a tough New Braunfels Canyon Cougar team. A first game victory and then a second game loss at New Braunfels 4-3. Some controversial calls there as we were perched up above the press box that night for a beautiful game. But then the Eagles come back and win it in the bottom of the 7th and a walk-off base hit there by Reese Bell into left field to score the winning run and advance on. And these Eagles have not turned back. The mindset of these players, it's time to reset. The batting averages are 0. We're going to the next round. But it all culminates right here at the Dell Diamond. Friendswood, one of the other two teams in the 5A semifinals, just beat Mansfield Legacy 4-2 in the first semifinal for 5A baseball. And so Friendswood, the Mustangs, sit and wait, Kelly, for the winner of this ball game for a matchup for the state title on Saturday at noon here live from the Dell Diamond.
You know, the nerves have just got to, for a lot of these kids. This is Wakeland's third appearance in the state semifinals. It's Georgetown's third appearance in the state semifinals. Neither team has taken home a state crown, so there's got to be a little nerves there for both teams.
The Wolverines, their only other state appearances, 2010 and 2017 prior to this year. Your Eagles appeared back in 2015 and most recently in 2019, where they came up short against Colleyville Heritage. Some names on that. Bobby Witt Jr., Rusty Greer's son was there, the third baseman for Colleyville Heritage as well. It speaks of that Colleyville Heritage team and the talent they had as Bobby Witt Jr., now the starter in his rookie year for the Kansas City Royals.
Not too shabby.
Not a shabby lineup there. But these two teams, they come in on two different runs. This Eagle team has had a smooth but steady run all year long. Only 7 losses. There was 1 week in there where we lost 3 games, and this team had to make a decision. They had to turn it around and win at least one of their last 2 district games against Liberty Hill or Cedar Park to even make the playoffs. And instead, they went ahead and swept that week and then took the district championship, which allowed them to have the number 1 seed for the playoffs out of district 25-5A. All four teams tied at 10-4 apiece, but the Eagles, the Lone Ranger out of District 25-5A, that was able to make their run. And they've done it with a steady dose of great defense, some timely hitting, and some good pitching. But then the Wakeland Wolverines, they come in. They were 12-12 at one point. And since that run at 12-12, they have gone on a 13-1 run to this point, that one loss being in the playoffs against Lufkin. And so quite a run, a drastic turnaround for this Wolverine team. They come in 25-13 on the year. They were the runner-ups in District 9 5A. Frisco Lone Star Rangers was the district champions, and then the Wakeland Wolverines. All 10 schools in that District 9, all out of the Frisco school district. And so a lot of competition amongst those kids that spend time together, that know each other very well.
That's crazy. I remember Frisco was just a little bitty hole in the wall. Now it's just thriving metropolis.
Yeah, home to the Frisco Rough Riders, a minor league baseball team for your Rangers, right there next to the Star, Jerry Jones's practice facility for the Dallas Cowboys. And Frisco has just exploded. A lot of little towns around these thriving suburbs and big towns that just continue to grow, and Frisco being one of them. But if you look down their district, a lot of subpar records, a lot of 500-type records. And so you just don't know what to look at it here. But the one thing you can look at, Kelly, is the fact that Wakeland comes in on a run. 13-1 since that point in the year when they went 12-12. And then all of a sudden, they went on this run, and they are a force to be reckoned with. You get hot at the right time, and that's what it's all about. Ask the Longhorns in their run through not being a national seed and then running through Seattle, Washington, through Fayetteville, Arkansas, and now into the national championship. The teams get hot at the right time. Pitching comes together. Hitting comes together. Defense plays well. Just what these Eagles have done, and you can only assume that these Wolverines have done in return.
And there are 4 teams left in 5A. Well, 3 now. These 2, and then the team that won the game before this one. 3 teams left. There are no bad baseball teams playing at Dell Diamond.
Everybody that is here at this state tournament this weekend is here for a reason. 6A will be tomorrow with the 3A semifinals. Gunter will play Corpus Christi London. Brock will play Diboll in the 3A semifinal games tomorrow at the Dell Diamond. And then Fort Bend, Ridgepoint, and South Lake Carroll will face off. And Rockwall Heath and San Antonio Reagan will face off in 6A competition, with all the championship games for 3A, 5A, and 6A coming on Saturday here from the Dell Diamond. 9 o'clock will be the 3A. 5A will be at 12 p.m. And then at 4 p.m., the 6A state championship. Congratulations to the Donis Cowboys, however you pronounce them. They are the 1A 22 baseball champions. They won earlier today. Valley Mill and Shiner both played. I think Valley Mills ended up winning that one over Shiner for the state title. And then tonight at 6:30 at Dishfalk Field is the 4A game between Argyle and Sinton. That team coached by Adrian Alaniz, the former Longhorn. They'll get ready for the starting lineups. We can go for the starting lineup for the Wakeland Wolverines. They will start this way in just 1 second. The Frisco Wakeland Wolverines, 25-13 overall, 12-6 in District 9A baseball. They are head coach Matt Sarter, assistant coaches Kyle Thornell, Scott Starnes, Darrell Preston, and Cecil Vega. Their starting lineup: batting first, playing second base, number 8, Jackson Dillingham. Batting second, playing right field, number 7, Connor Casano. Batting third and playing first base, number 22, Carson Preeb. Batting fourth and playing center field, number 1, Addison Brown. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 9, Dylan Sneed. Batting sixth and the designated hitter, number 14, Owen Casano. Batting seventh and catching, number 5, Mason Preeb. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 19, Jack Bryan. And batting ninth and playing left field for the Wolverines, number 24, Brendan Freeman. On the mound for the Wolverines is number 2, a senior, Holden Yaksik. He will be the starter for the Wolverines. So the Wolverines will go Dillingham, Casano, Preeb in the top 3, Brown, Sneed, and Casano in the middle third, Preeb, Bryan, and Freeman in the bottom third. They play out of the first base dugout as they're being introduced right now. And then we bring to you the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles.
Wally, tonight, head coach in his 3rd year at the helm, Jordan Vieira. His assistants are Chad Payne, David Durrell, Robert Holm, and Barry Johnson. And also, we would be remiss if we did not mention Coach Jared Fremmel. The stat girls for the Eagles, Grace King, Carter Campbell, and Dylan Jones. Athletic trainers, Macy Denson and Alyssa Stock. And the lineup for your Eagles in the state semifinal game tonight, batting number 1, number 19, Zachary Mozick, the senior catcher. Second in the order tonight is number 2, E.J. Davis. He's a senior. He'll be playing second base. Number 6, Landon Heil, the senior right fielder, will be batting third. Batting fourth is number 5, Reese Wheels Bell, senior first baseman. Batting fifth, number 5, Logan Smith. He's playing third base. He's a senior. Batting sixth, number 8, Zach Zavala, the senior infielder. And number 21, Eli Hellman's batting seventh. He's a shortstop. Number 3, Ty Klaus Keismore is left field, and he's batting eighth. And batting ninth tonight, senior center fielder, number 16, Andon Petty. And on the hill tonight, gets the start in this semifinal game, number 9, senior Nick Silva. And that's your lineup for tonight.
For the Eagles in the lineup, Mozick, Davis, and Heil in the top third. Bell, Smith, and Zavala the middle third. And Hellman, Klaus, Keismore, and Petty the bottom third of the lineup. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back for introductions. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to Dave here in a minute. Dave, can you hear us down there?
I can. Can y'all hear me?
Absolutely. What's
Awesome.
What's it like down there right where you are, Dave?
Oh, it's incredible. Lots of energy. The stands are completely full of Eagle Blue down here. And I tell you what, the heat hasn't kept them away. It's 95 degrees, feels like 100 degrees. We've got a southeast wind at 8, but not a cloud in the sky, and they're ready to see some Georgetown Eagles soar high.
Hey, Dave, correct us if we're wrong, but up behind the dugout in the red, is that a collection of Eastview fans?
No, it looks like some kind of Little League team that showed up.
Awesome. I tell you what, it's so cool to see. I see him standing as we get ready for the introduction of the Eagles. But it's awesome to see the crowd down there just waiting to erupt with these starting lineups. And we take a look here. We leave your mic on, Dave, to hear this crowd as they yell for these players. You're listening in from the field mic. Doppler Dave down in the camera box area by the dugout as these players for the Georgetown Eagles are being introduced. Eli Hellman heads out. Ty Klaus Keismore, and here comes Andon Petty, the center fielder, and now the starting pitcher, Nick Silva. Stay tuned with us here. We'll have the call of the ball game here tonight on SHN. But stand by as we get ready for the national anthem, and then we'll go straight in to the fight song, and we'll come back and get you ready for game time action. You're listening to the state semifinal game between the Wakeland Wolverines and the Georgetown Eagles here on SHN Sports. Back here live from the Dell Diamond for tonight's state semifinal matchup between the Wakeland Wolverines and the home team, your Georgetown Eagles. Nick Silva on the bump for the Eagles to start things off. The umpires for tonight's ball game: the home plate umpire, Sal Loya. At first base, James Pratt. Second base umpire, Richard Steerwald. And the third base umpire, Todd Blassingame. After the national anthem, we must make sure we thank all of our servicemen and women here and around the country and the world, serving and protecting our country, to give us opportunities like this right
Absolutely.
here, boys. I tell you what, Dave, what's the emotion like down there right by the dugout, Dave?
It's exciting. You know, the guys are all pumped up. They're doing their normal routine, and they're excited for this semifinal round against Frisco Wakeland. It's a lot of energy down here, and I wish we had audio or video so everybody could see the number of Georgetown fans. It's completely full all the way back over to the outfield on the home side over here.
Defensively for the Eagles tonight.
For your Eagles in the field tonight, in the outfield, starting left to right, Ty Klaus Keismore's in left field, Petty in center, and Heil in right field. On the infield, Smith, Hellman, Davis, and Bell. Behind the plate, Mazik. And on the mound tonight, Silva for your Eagles getting the start.
And Nick Silva gets ready to go, stepping into the box. For the Wolverines to start things off is Jackson Dillingham, the second baseman. First pitch in there for a called strike. And we're underway here in the 5A state semifinal. Game number 2, your Eagles and the Wolverines of Frisco Wakeland. Silva from the windup. The 0-1 pitch skips it in there for ball 1. 1-1 to count for Dillingham.
Folks, Dave mentioned that we are audio only tonight, so we've got some graphics trying to give you an idea of kind of what's going on the field along with the words.
The 1-1 pitch just outside, ball 2. 2-1 count to Dillingham. Connor Casano and Carson Preeb, 2 up here in the top of the first for the Wakeland Wolverines. Silva from the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Outside corner called strike 2. And the count runs even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Silva back ready on the mound, ready to go as Dillingham steps out. Knocks the dirt off the cleats. Silva from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Outside corner just misses for ball 3. And the count runs full. You hear
Georgetown Vampires not liking that call early on.
We'll see as the home plate umpire, Sal Loya, sets his strike zone. The payoff pitch. Outside corner just misses, and a leadoff walk for the Wolverines here to start the ball game. So that as the leadoff man aboard for the Wolverines. Down at first base on the leadoff walk, and in steps the left-handed hitting right fielder, number 7, Connor Casano. He'll step in, squares around a bunt. Smith charges on the third base side. The first pitch and the bunt out, but it is foul down the first baseline. It went off of Casano in the box. So a first pitch, foul ball, strike 1, 0-1 to count to Connor Casano. Great Georgetown crowd here tonight for this state semifinal game, 16 miles away. Cheer on their Eagles.
There's no place like home.
Throw over to first base. Dillingham dives back in safely. The Dell Diamond, if you haven't been out here, which most of you probably have that live in the area, all grass infield and outfield. Pitches outside for a ball, evens up the count. Mazik didn't get a good grip. He was about to throw down behind Dillingham, who had gotten a kind of a crazy secondary lead. But Mazik holds on to it to count 1-1 to Connor Casano. Square to bunt, the 1-1 pitch, bunted out in front of the mound. Mazik's going to get out. He'll throw down to first in time for the out. Bell throws down to second behind Dillingham, but he's back on the bag. So the sacrifice bunt is effective. The leadoff base runner moves up to second base with 1 out now. 2-3 on the putout. 4 out number 1, and that'll bring up Carson Preeb, number 22, the first baseman. Preeb will step in from the right side with a runner down at second and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Silva from the stretch, a look back at second. Now he'll turn towards second. If he would have thrown right away, he had Dillingham leaning towards third.
Dillingham was going to leave on first motion, I think, but he's got that right-hand batter, so it's going to make it a difficult throw for Mazick, but Silva had him if he'd have thrown it quick.
He hesitated. Dillingham was able to get back to second base. First pitch just high for ball one to Carson Preeb. So a 1-0 count to the first baseman. Addison Brown, the center fielder, on deck for the Wolverines. Here in the top of the first, Silva comes set. The 1-0 pitch, ground ball out towards short. Hellman fields it, looks the runner back, makes the throw across the diamond in time for out number 2. 6-3 on the putout. Hellman to Bell. And that'll bring up 2. Go get.
Good defense showing up for us again, like it has all season.
And you see the confidence in these players, Dave. It doesn't matter. Turf, grass, dirt. Eli Hellman stayed down on it, threw it, made a great throw.
Good job of looking the runner back, too.
So Dillingham will lead off now with 2 outs as the center fielder, Addison Brown, steps in from the left side, the number 4 hitter in the lineup for the Wolverines. Silva will come set. The first pitch to Brown. And he was unable to check the swing. Mazick asked for a check down to third base. And the third base umpire, Todd Blassingame, said he went around. So it's a called first strike. 0-1 the count on Addison Brown. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runner at second. Silva, a look back at second. The 0-1 pitch. Way outside for a ball. 1-1 the count now to Brown. Dylan Sneed, the shortstop, on deck for the Wolverines. Andon Petty plays about 3 steps to the left of second bag if you look out towards center field. And left field, Klaus Geismore shading towards the line. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Good pitch, low outside part of the plate, in the strike zone. Had him fooled on a little off-speed pitch, a little changeup, I think. It wasn't much of a breaking ball, but I think the changeup got him fooled, so that's exactly what you want.
Brown back in the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the first. A look back at second. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the top of the first has come to an end. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After half an inning, your Eagles coming up to bat. More Eagle playoff baseball in a moment on SHN. Back here live at the Dell Diamond state semifinal, game number 2 underway. Friendswood Mustangs were victorious over the Mansfield Legacy Broncos in game number 1. And now game number 2, the Wolverines recorded nothing much in the top of the first. They had 1 base runner on a walk, but Nick Silva comes right back, gets the strikeout to end the inning. And the Eagles come up to bat here in the bottom of the first. Mazick, Davis, and Heil due up here in the top of the first inning. Mazick, the left-handed hitted catcher, leads it off for the Eagles.
Excited to see what Zach's going to do, lead the senior leader on this team, and he has done a great job in these positions. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the nerves.
Guys, the delay in the game is the door was open to the Wakeland bullpen, and so center field ran over and closed the door.
Got to make sure that was close, especially any ball hit out there. You don't want one of those players to get hurt. First pitch to Mazik is low for ball one. The starting pitcher, Holden Yaksik for the Wolverines, the right-handed. The 1-0 pitch, and Mazik fouls it off over the third base side, out of play. And the count evens up at 1-1 strike. Yaksik wastes no time like the Georgetown staff. Ready to go. The 1-1 pitch. Mazik hits it out towards second. A high bounce on the second hop. The second baseman, Dillingham, up with it. Is throw to first in time for out number one. 4-3 on the putout to retire Mazik. And that'll bring up E.J. Davis, the second baseman. Davis will hit from the right side. Against the right-handed pitcher, Yaksik. With Landon Heil on deck. Davis gets in there and ready to go. The first pitch from Yaksik. Outside for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Folks will be patient with me. I'll get the graphics going back again. Just sit tight.
The 1-0 pitch to Davis. It's in there for a called strike. 1-1. To the senior second baseman, E.J. Davis. Davis back in the box, ready to go. Yaksik from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Low for ball two. 2-1 to count. To E.J. Davis. Yaksik, the 2-1 pitch. Outside corner called, strike two. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yaksik gets the sign. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Davis slaps it down the first baseline, but it's going to curl foul up against the United Heritage Center. So Davis stays alive in the at-bat, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'd be really interested because before the game, the Eagles seemed really loose. So you wonder what the nerves are like.
The 2-2 pitch, slap foul down the first baseline. Davis just late, about 10 feet foul. So the count remains 2-2. 2-2 the count to E.J. Davis. Yaksik from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Davis puts it in play into center field. Brown on the run, but he'll be back in time, backpedaling to make the catch in deep center field for out number 2. F8 in the book. E.J. Davis gave that one a ride, but Addison Brown with a good read and makes the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Landon Heil, the senior right fielder for your Eagles, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Yaksik from the windup. The first pitch to Heil. Strike on the outside corner. 0-1 count. Heil back in there. The 0-1 pitch. And Heil puts it into play. Deep left center field. Addison Brown gets to his right side and makes the catch for out number 3. F8 in the book. And the Eagles are retired in order here in the top of the first. After 1 complete inning, we remain scoreless, 0-0 between the Wolverines and the Eagles. Back with more Eagle Playoff Baseball on SHN in just a moment.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Texas for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And we head to the top of the second inning. The Wolverines come up with the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. Dylan Sneed, Owen Casano, and Mason Preeb. They'll face off against Nick Silva on in his second inning of work. 15 pitches thrown in the first inning by Silva from the windup. The first pitch misses low for ball one. 1-0 the count to the shortstop, Dylan Sneed, number 9 for the Wolverines. Silva in the windup, the 1-0 pitch. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count now. Sneed back ready. The 1-1 pitch from Silva. Sneed holds his bat but takes it for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. To the shortstop, Dylan Sneed. Silva from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off the glove of Mazik.
Silva's breaking pitches are working, and he looks like he's ready to deal tonight. Don't see a lot of nerves from him. Got through a quick first inning, so that's what you like to see out of Nick.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Silva from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Inside and low for ball 2. 2-2 the count now.
I didn't miss by a lot.
From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Outside and low for ball 3.
That missed by a lot.
And now Dylan Sneed's done a good job of running this count full. The payoff pitch from Silva. Outside corner, just misses for ball 4. And for the second inning in a row, the Wolverines have their leadoff man aboard on a free pass from Silva, his second walk of the ball game. That'll bring up number 14, Owen Casano, the designated hitter. He'll hit from the right side. With the catcher Mason Preeb on deck for the Wolverines here in the top of the second. Silva from the stretch. The first pitch, inside corner, called strike 1 to Owen Casano. 0-1 the count.
What was that timeout for?
Coach Charter had wandered off, came back to the box, and now gives the signals. The 0-1 pitch. Square to bunt. They'll throw back down behind the runner, but not in time. And Owen Casano takes that second pitch for a called strike. So now an 0-2 count with a runner down at first and no outs for the Wolverines. Casano turns and shows his bat like he's going to bunt, but it's an 0-2 count. Now a pickoff attempt over to first. And Sneed dives back in safely.
You know both these teams are going to be very aggressive on the base paths. It's what's gotten them here. And I would expect Georgetown to get some runners in place and move them on the base path. Same with the Wolverines.
0-2 pitch. It's outside for ball 1. Mazik throws back down behind Sneed at first. He dives back in safely. So a 1-2 count to Owen Casano. 1 ball, 2 strikes with no outs. A runner at first. Sneed leads off. Bell holds him on there. The 1-2 pitch. Foul ball. Almost hit her. I was going to say, Dave, you all right down there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Fireman dropped his kitty litter and bailed.
There's plenty of kitty litter down here, Wally.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, Sarter did you no favors. He bailed out of the way there. Let it come right at the media. 1-2 the count. To the designated hitter, Casano. The 1-2 pitch. Not sure where it missed, but it's called ball 2.
Just barely high, fellas. I got a good side angle right here.
Did you say barely high or fairly high?
Just barely high.
So a 2-2 count now to the designated hitter, Casano. The throw over to first. Sneed dives back in safely. Second inning in a row for the Wolverines, Kelly, to get their leadoff man aboard on a base on balls. Puts the pressure on the defense. The 2-2 pitch, and the ball hit into center field. Here comes Andon Petty on the run. He'll make the catch. And that'll make Sneed head back to first base. The first out of the inning, F8 in the book to retire Casano.
You just get happy when they hit it to center field because you know the center field is going to cover some ground. He's going to take care of that out there.
Oh, and Petty, and he puts on those running shoes. Not many things he will not get to as he shades to the right of second base if you're looking out from home plate. In steps Mason Preeb, the catcher for the Wolverines. One out here in the top of the second inning. The first pitch to him, base hit down the left field line. Hits the line all the way to the corner. Klaus Geismore is going to retrieve it. Sneed's being waved all the way home. Here comes the throw to Hellman. Hellman's going to fake the throw home. And it's going to be an RBI double for the catcher, Mason Preeb. And the Wolverines strike first. That one down the line landed pretty much on the chalk line. The umpire blasting him right there to make the call. And a one-out RBI double puts the Wolverines up 1-0. The courtesy runner for the catcher, Mason Preeb, will be number 4, Cooper Huff. Down at second base with one out. In steps the third baseman, number 19, Jack Bryan.
You know, runs are going to be at a premium tonight, and that small ball scored a run there for the Wolverines, and they play a very similar type game to the Eagles.
Silva comes set. He'll turn towards second. I tell you what, that's the second time we've seen it. Silva turns without a thought to throw to second, and he's had two men leaning towards third base.
Yep.
That if he just turns with that thought process to throw it, it's a possible pickoff attempt that could have happened. First pitch called a strike on the inside corner to Jack Bryan. 0-1 the count with one out. 1-0 here. The Wakeland Wolverines lead it in the top of the second. Runner at second with one out. The 0-1 pitch in there for called strike two. Brendan Freeman, the left fielder, on deck for the Wolverines here in the top of the second inning. Silva comes set, a look back at second base. The 0-2 pitch and a little excuse me swing. Hits it out to second base. Davis will field it. And only play to first base. 4-3 on the putout to retire Bryan. But that'll move up the runner 90 feet to third base with two outs for the Wolverines. So now it'll bring up the left fielder, Brendan Freeman. Freeman will step in from the left side. The courtesy runner Huff down at third base. The first pitch to Freeman misses outside for ball one. 1-0 the count to the number 9 hitter for the Wolverines. The 1-0 pitch, grounded, foul. Over towards the media. I don't think the Wolverines like y'all, Dave.
I'm good. That one wasn't as fast as the last one.
All their dads are cops.
Tell you what, the effort out of the athletic trainer, Chad Hennessy. I like it. The 1-1 pitch and a ball hit down the left field line. It's fair. That'll score the second run of the ball game. Freeman will take turn for second base. Klaus Geismore up with it. He'll fire it into Hellman. But a two-out RBI double for the number nine hitter in the lineup, Freeman, has the Wolverines up 2-0 early here in the ball game.
They've been aggressive at the plate, waited for good pitches that they could hit, and Nick has given up a couple of mistakes that they've been able to take advantage of and put them down that left field line. So.
The second hit of the ball game for the Wolverines. Drives in the second hit of the run of the ball game for the Wolverines, and in steps the leadoff batter Dillingham. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for called strike. 0-1 the count. Dillingham walked in his first trip to the plate back in the top of the first inning. Was left stranded at second base. Steps in here with two outs and a runner at second base.
Nick needs to just focus on this hitter.
The 0-1 pitch. Ball fouled off. Back up here.
We might get one.
So we now have two Home Depot buckets, and we have one of those horns that they're pointing right at the pitcher every time he gets ready to pitch.
The Vuvuzela has come out from the soccer world.
Look out, mister. Be careful with that language.
And I'm surprised it hadn't been stopped because usually they don't allow any noisemakers like that. Cowbells, things like that you can, but noisemakers. But so far, so good. And I don't think it matters right now. The 2 base hits have been distinctly shots down the third base line for the Wolverines. Dillingham turns around. The 0-2 pitch. He fouls it off back to the screen to stay alive at no balls and 2 strikes. One thing you see, boys, here out of the Wolverines, when they get 2 strikes on them, as soon as Silva comes set, they square around the bunt and then pull the bat back like they're ready to hit. And it's just a weird thing, but it's something you see out of every hitter when they are in there with a 2-strike count.
Yep.
Dillingham squares the 0-2 pitch, and he'll send it just over the glove of Davis into right center field. Here comes Petty up, and he drops it. That's going to give another base to Dillingham. So it's going to be a single and an error that allows another run to score. 3-0 here. First error of the ball game. Dillingham, a nice base hit just over the outstretched glove of E.J. Davis.
They're not hitting these balls hard. They're just hitting them in the right spots. They're doing a great job at the plate, the Wolverines are, of taking advantage of what Nick's giving them.
And there goes Wade Denton down the third baseline. Coach Chad Payne will come out to visit with Nick Silva, but Denton headed out to the Georgetown bullpen. Quick timeout. Back with more Eagle Playoff Baseball in a moment here on SHN. Back to action to visit over at the mound. Silva finds himself and the Eagles in a little bit of a jam here. 3 runs in the top of the second for the Wolverines. On 3 hits, 1 error. A runner at second with 2 outs, and in steps Connor Casano. Takes the pitch just outside for ball 1. Casano laid down a sac bunt in his first appearance to move the runner Dillingham up to second base. So he steps in here, looking for his first official at-bat of the night. A 1-0 count from Silva. He'll come set from the stretch. A look back at Dillingham at second. And the 1-0 pitch inside, called strike 1. 7th hitter of the inning for the Wolverines as they put up 3 runs. 2 doubles, a single, and an error.
Nice pitch by Nick. That one's hard to do anything with.
The 1-1 pitch. Fouled off down the first baseline towards the dugout. 1-2 now the count to the right fielder, Connor Casano. Wade Denton up and warming up, or out and warming up in the bullpen. Out over the left center field wall. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. Count stays 1-2 to Connor Casano. Coach Jaron Vieira turning around, getting the Eagle crowd up and going. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Connor Casano. 2 outs here in the top of the second. The 1-2 pitch. Ball fouled down the third baseline, but it's going to curl out of play into the stands for a souvenir. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And I think they actually get to keep him.
1-2 to the second hitter in the Wolverine lineup, the right fielder, Connor Casano. Dillingham leads off second. The 1-2 pitch, just high for ball 2. Dillingham down at second base, singled Looked like Andon Petty was coming in, scooping it up, and going to make a throw to home. Ended up dropping the ball, allowing Dillingham to get to second, the run to score easily. The 1-2 pitch, 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. And the Eagles finally get out of the second inning. But not before they give up 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and a runner left on base. After 1.5, 3-0, the Wolverines of Wakefield lead your Georgetown Eagles. Back in a minute with more Eagle Playoff Baseball on SHN.
What does the 50th anniversary of Title IX mean? It means I'm valued, I'm empowered, I can do anything. It means I'll pave the way for every girl who plays high school sports in the future. Just like every female student, coach, official, and administrator blaze the trail for me. Because every student deserves the opportunity to play. Encourage girls you know to participate in Texas high school sports.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We go to the bottom of the second, 3-0. The Wolverines of Wakefield lead it. Put up 3 in the second inning on 3 hits and 1 Eagle error. Now the Eagles step in. Bell, Smith, and Zavala do up here in the bottom of the second. Reese Bell takes the first pitch. In there for a called strike. The Eagles have got to chop away at this lead and get back into this ball game. The 0-1 pitch. Up and out for ball 1. 1-1 to count.
Killing that buffalo that Coach likes to talk about. 1 arrow at a time.
Bell in from the right side. Yoxic from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Outside for ball 2. Only 12 pitches thrown in the top of the first for Yoxic. 2-1 count to Reese Bell here. From the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the first baseman, senior Reese Bell. Logan Smith, the third baseman, on deck. Reese back in from the right side. Yoxic gets the sign. The 2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3.
That was close.
2-2 pitch right there. Tough one to take. Bell does it, and the count goes full. Yoxic gets the sign from the windup. The payoff pitch. Reese fouls it off back to the screen.
Boy, that was a nice pitch that Reese was able to foul off and stay alive in this at-bat.
And right here, in just Reese's at-bat alone, half of the pitches thrown from the first inning in one batter here in the second. So hopefully these hitters start seeing Yoxic and picking up on him. The payoff pitch, and Bell fouls it back to the screen. 3-2, still the count.
That was a swing. That was a Reese Bell swing.
Reese takes his time, gets back in the box. Yoxic from the windup. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Bell down for out number 1. Strikeout looking for the first strikeout of the ballgame for Yoxic. And that'll bring up number 5, Logan Smith, the third baseman. Logan will step in from the right side for his first time tonight here in the ball game in the top or bottom of the second inning. Yoxic from the windup. The first pitch to Smith. Bending, breaking ball in there. For a called strike, 0-1 to count. Zach Zavala, the designated hitter, on deck for your Eagles. The 0-1 pitch, low and outside, ball 1. Count evens up 1-1 to Logan Smith. The 1-1 pitch. And Smith hacks at it. Drives it down the first baseline, but it curls out of play. 1-2 now the count. Logan back in from the right side. Yaksic looks in, gets the sign. And Smith puts it into play down the right field line, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Smith will stop at first base, but a one-out single gets the action started here for the Eagles in the top of the second.
That's a big hit, and that's what you need to get this team going, get these bats going, and start chipping away.
That'll bring up Zach Zavala with one out and a runner at first base. On deck will be Eli Hellman, the shortstop. Dave, we haven't heard from you in a while. You doing all right?
Doing great. Just watching all the action down here. It's a good angle.
Logan Smith leads off first, being held on by Carson Preeb. Throw over. Smith dives back in safely at first base.
I was just thinking that hit is going to make that pitcher, think about that strike zone a little bit more. He's going to have to be pretty careful.
The first pitch to Zavala outside for a ball. Done a great job of two-strike hitting there by Logan Smith. It was a 1-2 count, and he went with the pitch. He didn't try to pull it. He didn't try to put it up the middle. He went with that outside pitch and put it into right field.
And whatever you can do to get the rest of these bats going, just getting that runner on base is huge.
The 1-0 pitch is low for a ball. 2-0 now to Zach Zavala, the senior designated hitter. Zavala missed a big chunk of the year with an injury. Came back about the last 4 weeks of the regular season and did the courtesy running for the catcher, Mazik. Now worked back into the lineup as the designated hitter. 2-0 count. The 2-0 pitch inside almost hit him. Count now 3 balls and no strikes. But you're right. I think you're right, Dave. Now it's got the pitcher Yaksic kind of thinking now. Everything to that point was just systematic. Throw the ball, catch the ball, the out. And now that base hit on that pitch, and now a 3-0 count.
Yeah, he's got to be, he's going to respect the bats a little bit more,
The 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 3-1 the count now to Zavala. Zach was taking that one all the way. Logan leads off first, being held on there. The 3-1 pitch. Outside. Oh, my. What I thought was outside for a ball 4 was a called strike. So we see that the left-handed batter's box white line is about the max you'll get there. So now a full count to Zavala, the full count pitch, and he'll fight it off back to the screen and stay alive with a full count.
He was headed to first, too.
Oh, man. Up here, we have a great angle, and up here, that was in the left-handed batter's box on that line. I understood why he was tossing the bat.
Yeah. I was ready to chalk it up as a walk. It was not.
The payoff pitch inside, ball 4. So now back-to-back base runners. A single and a walk. That'll bring up Eli Hellman with 2 runners on. First walk issued by Yaksic. A lot of firsts here in the second inning for Yaksic. A strikeout, a base hit, and a walk. 2 of which the Eagles are appreciative. The base hit and the walk have runners at first and second with 1 out. Eli Hellman, the shortstop, from the right side for his first appearance of the ball game. Yaksic from the windup. Yaksic will look back at second. The first pitch to Hellman misses low and outside, ball 1.
He doesn't look near as comfortable working from the stretch as he did early on. So maybe those runners can throw him off a little bit, get him off his game, because he was hitting his marks earlier.
Now the Georgetown crowd starting to get into it. The 1-0 pitch to Eli Hellman. Misses for ball 2. But I think Dave was onto something. You're in a system starting a ball game, and you get into that groove.
Yep.
You're retired 4 straight batters, and then all of a sudden a 1-2 pitch gets driven into right field for a hit. Now a walk. Now you're having to work a lot more. You're having to worry about runners. 2-0 count to Eli Hellman. That's a balk.
Yeah, coach is calling it too.
There we go.
Yes, I am. But
Yeah.
Yaksik did not turn
It
towards.
was 100% a balk.
He didn't turn towards Logan Smith at second. He torn back to first. Preeb wasn't holding him on.
Right, and he stopped, and then he threw the ball. You can't do that. It's got to be a continuous motion. If he had thrown the ball, he'd have been all right, but he stopped and then threw the ball, so base hit gets us on the board.
Now runners at second and third with one out. Eli Hellman steps in. 2 balls, no strikes with one out. Logan Smith at third. Zach Zavallo at second. Yaksik comes set from the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Up high, ball 3.
Oh, you leave that bat on your shoulder now,
I'll tell you
young
what,
man.
Everybody from Georgetown's on their feet right now. I don't think this pitcher's ever seen a crowd this loud.
And I had a, maybe if I had to guess, the crowd is outnumbering the Frisco crowd of 2-1 right now at minimum. The 3-0 pitch on the inside corner, called a strike. So Eli Hellman now with a 3-1 count, a hitter's pitch with runners on second and third. Ty Klaus Keismore waits on deck for the Eagles here in the bottom of the second, trying to put some runs on the board. The 3-1 pitch. Hellman pops it up on the right side. The first baseman drifts back. The second baseman, he'll call him off and make the catch in right field. They'll go ahead and throw it home to make sure the runner stays at third, and he does. Carson Preeb and Dillingham almost collided out in shallow right field right off the line. Dropped that one. Dillingham was calling for it. Carson Preeb almost ran into him. But now 2 outs.
And this changes the approach for the hitters because you got 1 out, you're just trying to hit something deep. With 2 outs now, you got to have a base hit, and Ty may be the guy for that.
Ty Klaus Keismore steps in. Runners at second and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The first pitch to Ty. Misses low and outside, ball 1. Andon Petty, your center fielder, on deck, the number 9 hitter for the Eagles. Eagles trying to answer back here in the bottom of the second. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. They trail 3-0. The 1-0 pitch, up and in, ball 2.
I think you make him throw you a strike. Got no problem being aggressive at the plate, but right now he's struggling with control. You got runners in scoring position. Be picky and make him throw you another strike.
2-0 count to Ty Klaus Keismore, the left fielder. Yaksik comes set, the 2-0 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 1. If I'm Yaksik, I throw that pitch every pitch.
Yeah.
I don't care what the catcher tells me. I'm getting this strike over the batter's box line in the left-handed batter's box. I'm throwing every pitch there. If you can hit it, congrats. If you can't, sit down.
Yeah.
The 2-1 pitch, Ty Klaus Keismore into right field, but it's going to go right to the right fielder for out number 3. F9 in the book, and the Eagles go down here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 2 complete innings, 3-0, the Wolverines lead your Eagles. Back with more Eagle Playoff Baseball in a moment on SHN. Go to the top of the third. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Wolverines to face Nick Silva. And the first pitch swinging. And it's hit into dead center field. And then Petty gets on his horse and runs it down deep center field for out number 1. Carson Preeb, F8, now 0 for 2 in the ball game. He didn't even let us get settled in there. He saw the pitch he wanted and took a hack at it. And that'll bring up 1 out. The center fielder, Addison Brown, he's 0 for 1 in the ball game. A strikeout in the first inning. Steps in here with 1 out and bases empty in the top of the third. First pitch, ground ball out towards second. Couple of hops, E.J. Davis fires the first in time. 2 pitches, 2 outs. 4-3 on the putout, retires Brown. And in steps Dylan Sneed, the shortstop. He led off inning number 2 with a walk and came around to score the first run of the ball game for the Wolverines. You got to imagine he'll be taking a pitch here, Kelly. Silva from the windup. The first pitch to Sneed. He took it, and it was low for ball 1. 46 pitches through 2 innings for Nick Silva. The 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count to the shortstop, Dylan Sneed, with Owen Casano, the designated hitter, on deck. The 2-0 pitch. It's in there, called strike 1. 2-1 the count now to the shortstop for the Wolverines. Sneed back in, the 2-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball. Called strike 2, now a 2-2 count. With 2 outs here in the top of the third. Silva from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Misses low for ball 3.
Wally, when they throw that bunt out there, it just, you think that's messing with the routine, you know?
I think you're right. The full count pitch. Low, ball 4. And a 2-out walk issued. The third walk of the ball game issued by Nick Silva. Owen Casano will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flew out to Andon Petty in center field back in the second inning. In his first at bat. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on first. The first pitch, swinging, out to the mound. Silva will field it. He'll make the throw to first, and the Eagles are out of the top of the third rather quickly. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left on. What the Eagles needed there defensively and offensively, a quick inning, and now back in the dugout to try to put some runs on the board. After 2.5, 3-0, the Wolverines lead it over the Eagles. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. Go to the bottom of the third inning. We'll have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters up for the Eagles. Andon Petty, Zachary Mazik, and E.J. Davis here for the Eagles. Andon Petty leads it off, his first appearance of the ball game here for the Eagles in the bottom of the third against Yasic. 40 pitches through 2 innings for Yasic. The first pitch to Petty in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Andon Petty. Yaksic from the windup. And then base hit. The 0-1 pitch driven right up the middle into center field, and Andon Petty does a job there. The leadoff man aboard for the Eagles. Just the second hit of the ball game. And the leadoff man aboard brings up Zachary Mazik.
Boy, that's big.
Just what you love out of your
Yes,
number 9
sir.
hitter. Get it back to the top and use your speed now. Andon Petty, one of the fastest, if not the fastest on this Eagle baseball team.
Yeah, we talked to Andon about that at one of the coaches' shows. Asked him if he was the fastest. He wouldn't flat out say it, but
Mazik, base hit into the right center field. That'll get Andon Petty up to second base. 2 batters, 2 base runners, 2 base hits. Mazik fired up at first base. That gets Andon Petty into scoring position. Third base hit of the ball game for the Eagles.
Substitute runner.
Is that 23, Dave?
Yes.
Number 23. Jacob Faltasek comes in to run for the catcher, Zachary Mazik.
might see a bunt.
E.J. Davis will step in here. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. I didn't even have time to say Zach Mazik was 0 for 1 in the game on a ground out. He put the first pitch into right center field for a base hit. Davis steps in from the right side. Yaksic, a look back at second. Square around a bunt. It's in the dirt. Good block there by the catcher, Mason Preeb. Keep it in front of him. Anything gets past you here at the Dell Diamond, runners will move up.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a long distance back there in this minor league ballpark. The ball 1 to E.J. Davis. Landon Heil on deck for the Eagles. The 1-0 pitch. Outside corner, and that's where I would live, right there all day, every day, with this umpire, Sal Loya.
I like that square to bunt, man. Right here.
1-1 count. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second for the Eagles. E.J. Davis back in. The 1-1 pitch. He squares around a bunt, but bunts it foul back behind home plate. 1-2 now the count. So you got to think the bunt's off the table here.
At least you're making this kid work some.
He only threw 12 pitches in the first inning, 28 in the second. And now more runners on base, making him work more, like Dave was saying. Get him out of that routine. Pitch, catch, out. Pitch, catch, out. He was just in that smooth routine from the windup, and now working from the stretch again here in the third. The 1-1-2 pitch, base hit, right center field, and that's going to get into the gap. Andon Petty will score. Faltasek around second. He's headed to third. An RBI double for E.J. Davis, and the Eagle crowd getting on their feet. 3-1.
Yes, sir. That's what you needed right there. Big piece of hitting. And the Eagles are on the board.
E.J. Davis, your senior second baseman, with an RBI double. Faltasek gets all the way to third. 3 base hits in a row for the Eagles. Now 4 in the ball game.
Neither one of the base runners apparently had a good look at that, because from our viewpoint, you could tell it was going to get down without any problems. But
I was going to say, up here, it was a base hit. I was calling it out.
Run!
Wally, I'd like to say that before this inning, they huddled up in the dugout, and it was all calm. They were just all confidence, and whatever the coach said, it's working.
Landon Heil steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. He's got runners on second and third, no outs, but he doesn't like the time that Yaksic's taking on the mound, so Landon Heil takes a timeout. Very emphatic, the umpire steps out so Yaksic doesn't waste his arm and resets. Now here's Landon Heil back in the box from the right side. E.J. Davis off second, Jacob Faltasek off third. The first pitch to Heil, low in the dirt. Good block by the catcher, Preeb. 1-0 the count to the right fielder, Landon Heil. I tell you what, we said it. 1-2 to count to E.J. Davis. The bunt's off the table, so he says, excuse me, I'll dump an RBI double into right field. And, man, what a shot right in the gap between Casano and Brown for the double. The 1-0 pitch to Heil. Heil puts it into center field. Brown tracks back. He'll make the catch. Faltasek tags at third. He'll score easily. Brown, a good play there to hit the cutoff to keep Davis at second. But the Eagles, a sac fly by Landon Heil. Now 1 out, 2 runs across. A beautiful RBI sacrifice fly by Landon Heil.
Now wheels.
Here comes
He's
Reese
due.
Bell.
He's struggled a little bit in the last couple of games, and Reese is due right now.
So F8 in the book for that sacrifice RBI for Landon Heil. Scores Faltasek. 3-2 now the score. The Eagles just trail by 1. Reese Bell steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. A strikeout looking in the second. He would like to make amends for that with E.J. Davis down at second base and only 1 out here in the inning. Yaksik from the stretch, the first pitch to Bell. He holds off, takes it high, ball 1.
Boy, that was just barely high, but Reese likes that higher fastball right over the plate.
What's the energy in that dugout, Dave?
Oh, it's great. They're all up on the fence, leaning over the dugout, and everybody's in this ball game.
1-0 count to Bell with 1 out and a runner at second. The 1-0 pitch. And I would live there all day long.
He's been consistent on it, and Silva needs to pay attention to that.
Yeah, Zach Mazik needs to, as the catcher, be mindful of that. Work Silva out there. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1 to count to Bell now with 1 out and a runner at second base. E.J. Davis leads off the 1-1 pitch, high and outside, ball 2. So the Eagles had runners on second and third with 1 out in the second inning, couldn't push a run across, and now they've done the same thing. Runners on second and third with no outs. They push 2 across, have a runner on second with only 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Reese Bell back in the box. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yaksik a look back at second. Another look back at second. Now a spin. No throw, and E.J. Davis totally in the head of the pitcher, Yaksik.
I like it a lot.
Well, I mean, Reese Bell looks like he could jack one out of the park, so he's a little nervous right now.
Bell steps back in. Yaksik steps on the rubber. Now comes set from the stretch. Spin towards second. E.J. Davis dives back in safely.
Good move.
Nice move there. I tell you what, the only danger in a situation like this with that spin move, you take your eyes off the base long enough, you come up and release at the wrong point, that ball's set and sail to the outfield. And so a very nice throw by Yaksik there to keep it over the bag, and Davis dives back in under the tag. The 2-1 pitch. Bell puts it into right field, and it's going to be caught. E.J. Davis could have tagged up and went to third. The right fielder threw it home. So E.J. Davis remains at second base. The right fielder, Casano, came up and showed everyone that he has an arm for no reason at all as he threw home. E.J. Davis could have easily strolled into third base.
I think Coach is telling him such as well.
So L9 in the book for out number 2. And in steps Logan Smith. He had a single and was left stranded at third. Back in the second inning. Steps in here with no count. 2 outs and a runner at second. He'll take time as Yaksik takes very long time. Once he moved from that windup, Dave, you were right. It totally went into his head. Now when he's in the stretch, he takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and Georgetown's slowly chipping away here, getting these 2 runs here. The old Buffalo theory, right?
1 arrow at a time. Logan Smith back in. Yaksik comes set. The first pitch to Smith, and a ball fouled off. Back out of play. Into the parking lot down the first base side. 0-1 to count. Logan Smith, 1-1 for the ball game. He had that single to start things off. A 1-out single in the second inning, but got left stranded at third base. Steps back in here. No balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. E.J. Davis leads off second. The 0-1 pitch. Way outside in the dirt. Great block by the catcher, Mason Priebe.
The pitcher's looking back and forth. He looked back and forth about 3 or 4 times. Second base, home plate, second base, home plate. And you do that enough, how are you going to be accurate at the plate?
Exactly. It may be a fact that he's not setting back towards the mound or towards home plate when he throws. Goes into motion. That one got away from him. Mason Priebe, the catcher, doing a great job for the Wolverines to keep all these pitches in front of him. Yaksik comes set with a look back, a stare at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Logan Smith puts it into right field. If this one gets down, it scores, and it does. E.J. Davis around third. He's going to score and tie this one up. Logan Smith, an RBI single with 2 outs, and the Eagles have tied it up, Dave. The crowd roars behind you.
I'm trying hard not to bust Wally's eardrums out up here and just scream over him while he's broadcasting. I'm so excited. Oh, my goodness.
Logan Smith, 2 for 2 in the ballgame now. None bigger than that 2-out RBI single to right field to score E.J. Davis. And now we're tied up at 3 apiece. In steps Zach Zavala. Takes the first pitch for a called strike.
It has sucked the wind out of this Wakefield crowd. Not a big crowd, but they were loud a little bit earlier, but they're all sitting with their hands folded now.
The 0-1 pitch up high for ball 1. 1-1 to count to Zach Zavala. He drew a 1-out walk back in the second inning, was left stranded on base there at second. 1-1 to count with 2 outs, a runner at first base, and Logan Smith. He's got a big lead at first base. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Zavala swings through that one. I think he was sitting fastball and got something different. And now 1-2 the count to Zach Zavala with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
That was a nasty breaking pitch.
The 1-2 pitch. Zavala pops it up right side of the infield. The first baseman, Preeb, he'll give way to Dillingham, the second baseman, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. P4 in the book for out number 3, but not before your Eagles put up 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete, we're all tied back up. 3-3 your score. More Eagle playoff baseball in just a moment.
So, how are the kids?
Well, Emily made the honor roll.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. Tyler, on the other hand, though,
What's going on?
he's been moody lately, just feeling down and not like himself.
Oh, we've been there. Nick was struggling last spring. He was so anxious and stressed.
Really? What helped?
Well, he joined the soccer team, and ever since, he's been a lot happier. He has more energy, he's less stressed, and he's definitely in a better mood at home. It's made a huge difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting out of the house, he's getting some exercise, and he's off his phone for once. It's been good for his mental health.
Sounds like it's been good for your mental health, too.
Participating in Texas high school sports improves students' physical and mental health. Encourage your son or daughter to get involved. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
And we go to the top of the 4th inning. The Wolverines bring up the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. This far through the ball game, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Wolverines. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for your Eagles. 3 runs in the top of the second for Wakeland, 3 in the bottom of the third, answered for the Georgetown Eagles. Nick Silva on to work his 4th inning on the mound. 55 pitches through 3 innings. Nothing better than that 9-pitch 3rd inning to get him kind of back on track.
Could use another one of those.
Mason Preeb steps in. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Had an RBI double. First pitch is inside for ball 1. He had an RBI double in the second. Came around to score the second run of the ball game for the Wolverines. Steps in here to lead things off. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball hit foul down the third baseline just past the media booth. 1-1 to count.
The Dave Pound.
The 1-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. 1-2 now the count to the catcher, Mason Preeb, with Jack Bryan, the third baseman, on deck. The 1-2 pitch, outside corner. Not sure why it doesn't work at the top of the inning. Good job by Silva to go right after that. I guess that's the Oxic-only corner. Now the 2-2 pitch to Preeb. And low and outside, ball 3. Now the count runs full.
Wally still showing that bunt on a 2-out pitch.
I tell you what, every single batter in this Wolverine lineup with 2 strikes squares around. Now the payoff pitch. Inside ball for Nick Silva, and that's going to be all for him. Here comes Coach Vieira. That leash was very short. 3 out of 4 innings now. The Eagles have allowed the leadoff batter to get aboard. 4th walk of the night for Silva. Now will be the last batter that he'll face as Coach Vieira heads to the mound. We'll take a timeout, come back, set the pitching change, the defense for the Eagles, and have more playoff baseball here on SHN. And we go back to action here in the top of the 4th inning. A leadoff walk for the Wolverines gets Nick Silva out of the ball game. Wade Denton comes on to relief. Silva went 3 innings and a plus. First pickoff attempt as Preeb dives back in safely. Denton comes in relief here in the top of the 4th inning.
Lively fastball is what he brings to the table.
Square around the bunt. The first pitch sails high. Mazik throws down behind Preeb. He's back safely. 1-0, 1 ball, no strike. They count to Jack Bryan. He's going to try to sacrifice the runner up to second base. Jack Bryan 0 for 1 in the ball game. A ground out to second base in the 2nd inning. He steps in here. A 1-0 count, the 1-0 pitch. Inside corner. Called strike 1 as Bryan pulled the bat back. On deck is the left fielder, Brendan Freeman. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game with an RBI double. The 1-1 pitch. It gets off the glove of Zach Mazik, and that's going to allow the runner. Actually, that's going to be the courtesy runner, Huff. He gets up to second base. So the pass ball, 2-1 now the count to Jack Bryan.
It didn't look like a bad pitch, actually.
And you don't see that a lot from Zach Mazik. But now a 2-1 count with no outs and a runner on second for the Wolverines. Jack Bryan back in. Denton's 2-1 pitch. Bunted out in front of the mound. Wade Denton gets off the mound. He'll throw down to first in time. But barely. He missed it on the first pickup try, but stays with it and gets the out on the sac bunt that moves the runner just 90 feet away.
Even though he bobbled it, you know he can throw a fastball to first base.
Yeah, that is true. He hummed it down there. 1-3 on the putout. out number 1 on the sack bunt. Brings up Brendan Freeman. He took a 1-1 pitch and hit an RBI double in the bottom of the second. He steps in here with a runner on third and 1 out. The first pitch, outside, ball 1. And you hear this Georgetown crowd bone because that same pitch has been called a strike multiple times.
Multiple times.
For Yaksik in the bottom half of the inning.
And all you ask for is consistency, and that's a lack of it, and that's why people are getting frustrated.
The 1-1 pitch fouled off back above the crowd on the first base side as they wear a baseball upside the noggin. 1-1 now the count. To Freeman, the number 9 hitter in the Wolverine lineup. The 1-1 pitch. Gets past the wild pitch. Gets past Mazik. And the Wolverines take the lead. And that's what a leadoff walk, when you have an 0-2 count, you just can't have that. The leadoff walk in an inning kills you.
Yep.
And it's the third time out of 4 innings that the Eagles have allowed the leadoff man aboard. And it comes back to haunt you with a walk, a sack bunt, and a pass ball, a sack bunt, and then a wild pitch. And now the Eagles find themselves back down again. 4-3 here in the ball game in the top of the 4th.
Well, you also see that deep backstop come into play like you talked about earlier. It's a long way from the point of home plate back to the backstop.
This pitch, line drive out to Logan Smith. He bobbles it but doesn't drop it. So he makes the catch for out number 2. That ball got down there very quickly in the hot box. Delivered there.
Very quickly. Little bobble, but he kept on to it. Kept a hold to it.
L5 for out number 2. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Jackson Dillingham. He's 1 for 1 on the night. Walked in the first, singled in a run. In the second inning, he had an RBI single, got to second on the only error of the ball game for the Eagles when Andrew Petty dropped it trying to come up throwing home. Dillingham steps in with 2 outs and no runners on here in the top of the 4th. The first pitch from Denton in the dirt for ball 1.
Davis, next half inning, I'm going to need you to run up and get some of that chicken I'm smelling. Dave's dead.
The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Half the fans wanted a ball low. Half the fans cheering. Good job there by Mazik.
Little help by the catcher never hurt.
Good frame job by Zach. Brings it up to a 1-1 count now with 2 outs to Dillingham.
Folks in orange got no reason to be griping.
The 1-1 pitch hit out to second. E.J. Davis on the back pedal. Can't play it. He goes into right field. They score that an error, E4. Davis had plenty of time to get in front of it. He pedaled and then swatted at it and missed it. So now a 2-out base runner on the air.
Little Olay play there.
That'll bring up Connor Casano. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. A sacrifice bunt in the first, a strikeout swinging in the second. The first pitch from Denton, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Little.
Have not seen that all year out of E.J. Davis.
Little Roger Dorn Olay.
Get in front of it, Dorn.
You don't expect me to take one of those in the eye, do you?
And the 0-1 pitch to Connor Casano. Misses outside, ball 1, 1-1 to count. E.J. Davis has been a clean second baseman here this year. First time I've seen him do something like that, and it looked like the hop caught him off balance, and that it came out on a late hop and a hot one. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Nice low fastball, bottom part of the zone.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Wolverines are down here in the top of the 4th, but not before they get a run on no hits, 1 error, and a runner left on base. After 3.5, 4-3 your score. Wakeland Wolverines lead it over the Georgetown Eagles. More Eagle baseball in a moment. go to the bottom of the fourth. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Eagles. Hellman, Klaus Geismore, and Petty due up. Hellman steps in 0 for 1 in the ball game. Yaksik from the windup. The first pitch to Hellman inside, ball 1.
You got to be patient. They got that one run back, but keep chipping away, chipping away, chipping away.
The 1-0 pitch to Hellman. Up and out, ball 2.
I would guess there's not going to be a very long leash on this Wolverine pitcher either. They've got some activity out in their bullpen a little bit.
The 2-0 pitch. Up and in, ball 3 to Eli Hellman.
Sit, Eli. Stay.
Eli Hellman popped out to the second baseman down the first baseline in his first at bat. The 3-0 pitch. Up high, ball 4. He even hesitated because you don't know what to expect.
He's like, is that one a strike, sir?
Only the second walk issued by Yaksik as the leadoff man aboard for the Eagles here in the bottom of the fourth, and that'll bring up Ty Klaus Geismore. He flew out to the right fielder in his only appearance. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. And Petty on deck for the Eagles. In the bullpen for the Wakeland Wolverines is Jacob Kokzo. Kokzo. However you pronounce that.
Kokzo.
Kokzo. Jacob warms up, number 12, in the Wolverine bullpen. Ty Klaus Geismore steps in here in the bottom of the fourth with the man on and no outs. Yaksik from the stretch. The bunt down the first baseline, a punch bunt. Preble filled it, step on the base in time for the first out to retire Ty. But a good sack bunt there moves Hellman up into scoring position with 1 out. And Petty steps in. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He led off the bottom of the third with a base hit, came around to score 1 of the 3 runs for the Eagles. So 3U on the play there for out number 1. The Georgetown crowd getting going. Yaksik from the stretch. And Petty in from the right side. Petty ready as Hellman leads off second. The first pitch low in the dirt for ball 1. Looks like Petty looking to bunt here. You see the third baseman, Brian, playing back even with the bag at third. And Petty not afraid to show his wheels. Will lay down a bunt at any point in a ball game. No balls and they called it a strike. 0-1 the count to Petty. A pickoff attempt. Hellman dives back in safely. Another good move there by Yaksik.
Really close. Wow. Really close. Right call, but.
Hellman dives back in safely at second base. I thought that first pitch was low in the dirt, unless he said Andon didn't pull the bat back. So they have it. No balls and 1 strike to Andon Petty. The 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 2. 0-2 count to Petty now.
Be nice if we could get that strike.
It is 1-1. The home plate umpire signaling it, so the scoreboard did have it wrong. Just 1-1 to count to Andon Petty now.
There, they got it.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Hellman off second base. The 1-1 pitch misses outside the breaking pitch.
Had to wait on that call.
2-1 now the count to Andon Petty. Senior center fielder, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Nothing bigger than that leadoff single to start everything in the bottom of the third for the Eagles. Steps in here with a runner on second and 1 out. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouls it off into the glove of the catcher for strike 2. 2-2 now the count. To Andon Petty with Zachary Mazik on deck for the Eagles. Yaksik a long look in, comes set. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Petty didn't ever really look comfortable there at that one. Goes down for the strikeout for out number 2.
Especially that last swing. Step back, kind of an excuse me swing.
Now 2 outs, and Zachary Mazik steps in. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out in the first, a single in the third. Just the second strikeout in the ball game for Yaksik. He's thrown 60 pitches through 3 innings. Mazik from the left side, the first pitch. Breaking pitch in there on the outside part of the plate for called strike 1. Let that one hang there again and see if Zach doesn't go down the left field line with that one. He loves to go opposite field. 0-1 to count to Mazik. Hellman leads off second, pickoff attempt. And that one hits Helmet as he dives back into second base. And just like that, right there, Kelly, what we were talking about, you spin and throw, it's easy for that throw to be offline, to be in the dirt, to be high, because you lose visual contact through the motion. And that one was low. And I tell you what, if it doesn't hit Hellman, it may get into center field, but it went off his arm as he extended out and dove back into the bag. The 0-1 pitch way outside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count to the catcher, Zachary Mazik. E.J. Davis waits on deck for the Eagles. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. The runner on second base. The 1-1 count to Mazik. Yaksik comes set and look back at second. The 1-1 pitch way outside. 2-1 the count.
There's something about 2 outs in Georgetown baseball. It's been that way for quite some time. It's just special things happen with 2 outs.
And this playoff run, I think Kelly would agree, the 2 outs have not been a deterrent to this team. They
not at all.
Not afraid to put the ball into play. Now a 3-1 count to Mazik. That 2-1 pitch missed. Yaksik pitching carefully to the leadoff hitter, Zachary Mazik. The 3-1 count with 2 outs and a runner at second. The 3-1 pitch. Mazik fouls it off, back out of play down the first baseline. And now the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the senior catcher. Yaksik back on the mound now. Takes a look in and comes set. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Mazik fouls it off back over the first base dugout. Stays alive. With the full count. Beautiful night for baseball here. The state semifinal ball game. The winner goes on to face Friendswood on Saturday at noon. The payoff pitch. Mazik, left center field, base hit. That'll tie the ball game up. Mazik around first base. He's headed to second. He'll touch second base and be held there. No, he's headed to third. A delay. He slides in. He'll be out. Coach wanted the high tag. He's talking to the umpire there. But no matter what, a double, RBI double by Zach Mazik ties the ball game up. And Coach Vieira out on the field in the ear of the second base umpire. But we have a tie ball game at the end of 4. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. And no runners left on base after 4 complete. 4-4 your score. More Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN.
So, how are the kids?
Well, Emily made the honor roll.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. Tyler, on the other hand, though,
What's going on?
he's been moody lately, just feeling down and not like himself.
Oh, we've been there. Nick was struggling last spring. He was so anxious and stressed.
Really? What helped?
Well, he joined the soccer team, and ever since, he's been a lot happier. He has more energy, he's less stressed, and he's definitely in a better mood at home. It's made a huge difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting out of the house, he's getting some exercise, and he's off his phone for once. It's been good for his mental health.
Sounds like it's been good for your mental health, too.
Participating in Texas high school sports improves students' physical and mental health. Encourage your son or daughter to get involved. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
And we go to the top of the 5th inning, all tied up at 4-4. Wade Denton on for his second inning of work to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. First pitch, ball flown out into shallow center field. Hellman gives chase, but he'll give way to Andy Petty, who drops it. Petty came sliding in and couldn't make the play. It hit off of him, and a good job of running there by Carson Preeb. He gets all the way to second base. They're going to call that a base hit. 4th base hit of the night.
2 really uncharacteristic mistakes by Andon out there in center field.
And now here steps in. Okay. It cannot be a courtesy runner unless you've declared him to pitch, because that is the first baseman, not the pitcher or catcher. So it is a substitute. I didn't get the number for it, but Preeb, Carson Preeb, the first baseman, gets
11.
Pinch ran for. Number 11, Jace Kwiatkowski, in to run. Edison Brown, the center fielder, steps in with no outs and a runner on second. He'll take time as Wade Denton was taking his time, getting the signs from Hellman at second. 4th time in 5 innings, the Eagles have allowed the leadoff man to get on for the Wolverines. And that's going to cost you eventually. It has already here in a couple of innings for the Eagles. The first pitch to Brown will come after a pickoff attempt.
Harumph. It was a strange move that Wade made to second.
Kwiatkowski, the pinch runner, leads off. The first pitch to Brown. Ground ball out between first and second into right field. Here comes Heil with it. They're going to hold the runner as Heil hums it home. It would have been a throw. Throw back behind the runner at second, and he's out. What a throw by Zach Mozick.
Yes, sir.
Addison Brown thought he had picked one off there and advanced to second. Zach Mozick threw a bullet to Eli Hellman. So a single for Addison Brown, but then he gets caught trying to advance to second on the throw from Heil.
He's not the fastest runner you're going to find on that team. So that was a real headsy play by the catcher.
Yes.
2-6 for out number 1. So now the Wolverines have 1 out and a runner at third base. In steps Dylan Sneed, the shortstop. He's 0 for 0 in the ball game with 2 walks. Denton from the stretch, the first pitch. In there for a called strike.
Some people were going to come unleashed if that got called the ball. Some of the folks in blue.
The 0-1 pitch. Low for ball 1. 1-1 to count. To Dylan Sneed, the number 5 hitter for the Wolverines. Didn't come set. The 1-1 pitch. A ball fouled off down the right field line. It'll curl out of play. For strike 2. 1-2 the count. Owen Casano, the designated hitter, waits on deck for the Wolverines. 4-4 your score. The go-ahead run for the Wolverines, just 90 feet away. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball slapped foul down the third baseline. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sneed. Before this inning, in 2 of the 3 innings, the leadoff man had gotten aboard. The leadoff man scored a run. So imperative here now. The infield will play in for the Eagles. A 1-2 count to Sneed. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. He stays alive.
You know, it's kind of tough. You know, they show bunt. You bring your infield in, but if it pops it right over their head, that's a tough deal.
Well, in this circumstance, Dave, they're coming in to cut down the run at home if it's an infield hit.
Okay.
If it's something on the ground on the infield, they play up so they can cut the run down at home and keep them from taking the lead again.
Now the infield on the grass all the way around. The 1-2 pitch to Snead. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Oh, that's a big strikeout. Big strikeout.
That was huge.
And a beautiful pitch by Wade.
First strikeout for Wade Denton on the night. Correction, make that the second strikeout for Wade Denton on the night. None bigger than that second out of the inning. It allows your infield to go back to regular depth. Your play here will be at first base with 2 outs and a runner at third. Owen Casano steps in, 0 for 2 in the ballgame. A fly out and a ground out. First pitch, swinging and a miss, strike 1.
You know, Wally, you just see the confidence in the pitcher now. You know, he took a big deep breath after the strikeout. He's standing tall on that mound right now. He's got control of this game.
Wade Denton comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Misses low, ball 2. Ball 1. 1-1 to count to Casano with Mason Preeb, the catcher, on deck. Denton on the first base side of the rubber. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, almost hit him. 2-1 now the count to Owen Casano. A fly out to center field. Then a ground ball back up the middle, fielded by Silva. The 2-1 pitch. Misses low and outside, ball 3. Don't want to lose him here.
What's he done for the game?
A fly out and a ground out. 0 for 2 so far. Denton comes set, the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen, now a full count. You got to think Wade Denton going all out here to try to get this last out and get the Eagles out of the inning without giving up another run. 4-4 your score.
Jared Vieira down there getting his crowd going.
Denton comes set, the payoff pitch. Foul off down the first baseline, out of play. So the count remains full. Denton comes set. The payoff pitch. The ball hit into right field. Landon Heil turns around and makes the catch. For out number 3, the Eagles get out of the inning without giving up any runs. No runs on 1 hit. Correction, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. And 1 runner left on base. After 4.5, 4-4 your score. More Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Eagles all tied up with the Wolverines of Wakefield, 4-4. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Wolverines. 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for your Eagles. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters do it for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th. Davis, Heil, and Bell. Davis 1 for 2 on the night with an RBI double and a run scored. Steps in here to lead it off from the right side. First pitch, check swing for strike 1. Jacob Coxo, number 12, on the pitch for the Wolverines. The right-hander goes from the stretch. We will go with Jacob just to make sure we pronounce that one right. Unsure of the true pronunciation of his last name. Jacob fires the 1-0 pitch, or 0-1 pitch, in there on the inside corner for called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to E.J. Davis. Flew out to center field in the first inning. An RBI double in the third. Came around to score the third run of the ball game for the Eagles. Steps back in from the right side. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. They said he did not go as they appealed down to first. Pitch was low and outside for ball 1. The first baseman, Preeb, coming in for the throw around. I thought he might have got rung up, and now a 1-2 count to E.J. Davis. Jacob from the stretch comes set on the first base side of the rubber. The 1-2 pitch to Davis. Fouled off back to the screen. Yaksik goes 4 innings, allows 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, through 77 pitches on the night for the Wolverines. Gives way here to Jacob, number 12 for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-2 the count to E.J. Davis, the leadoff hitter for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-2 pitch. Davis chops it foul.
That's about to go, run!
Stays alive. I did too. I thought it was fair.
I did too.
So a good job of E.J. Davis here. 5 pitches seen already for the first batter for Jacob to face. So E.J. doing battle here in the first at-bat against the relief pitcher with Landon Heil on deck and Reese Bell in the hole for the Eagles. Davis back in for the right side. Jacob comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Davis puts it into right center field, and it's going to get down for a hit. A diving attempt by Brown. He can't get to it, and E.J. Davis is going to circle second. He's headed to third, and he's going to be in there with the triple. The ball right behind him. A great job by Coach Vieira telling him, stay on the base, stay on the base. The ball's right behind you. A leadoff triple for E.J. Davis, the senior second baseman, making up for that error. What a job by E.J. A 1-2 count. He battles with a couple of foul balls, Kelly, and then boom, the triple to lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th.
And now you've got to get this run across and not do like Wakefield did in the first half of this inning.
Guys, I tell you what, Coach Vieira was pumped up. He headbutted him on third base. He was excited.
Landon Heil
hollering at the crowd, let's go, let's go.
Landon Heil steps in. He's 0 for 1 on the night, a fly out and a sac fly RBI. First pitch from Jacob, a base hit into left field. Another base hit RBI for Landon Heil as he scores E.J. Davis. First pitch swinging, a base hit past the diving third baseman, the infield in. Kelly, what have we said all year?
That's it.
That batting average goes up 100 points, and Landon Heil, an RBI single on the first pitch he sees, and they did their job. Score the run, don't leave him stranded at third.
Now look who's at the plate. Big Reese coming in.
Wheels Bell.
He is due. Come on, Wheels. There's the train blowing the horn for Wheels.
Reese 0 for 2 in the ball game. A strikeout looking and a line drive out to right field. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Jacob comes set. The first pitch to Bell. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
He's trying to knock it off that train.
I was about to say, I think that one was headed for the home run porch if he gets a hold of it. That was a big hack for the big boy, Reese Bell. 0-1 to count. On deck, Logan Smith, the third baseman. 5-4, your Eagles lead it here in the bottom of the 5th. Heil leads off first. He takes off running on the pitch. The 0-1 pitch, batted foul down the first baseline, out of play.
Reese knows, too. Oh, he just missed sending it down that right field line. And that would have scored Landon.
Swinging like that. That'll make the pitcher a little nervous. A big boy swinging like that.
You sure don't want to hang a breaking pitch over the middle part of that plate right now, the way he's swinging that bat.
0-2 count to Reese Bell with no outs. Landon Heil leads off first, being held on there by Carson Prieb, the first baseman for the Wolverines. Jacob comes set. The 0-2 pitch to Bell. Bell pops it up down the first baseline, but it'll curl out of play. And Bell stays alive, 0-2.
Oh, he's
Coach
just
claps his hand, looks at Bell, says, "You're fighting, you're battling. Let's go."
5-4, the Eagles. A leadoff triple by E.J. Davis, an RBI single by Landon Heil has the Eagles ahead here in the bottom of the fifth. The 0-2 pitch. Bell puts it out towards second. The second baseman gets it, flips to first, or to second, to first in time. 4-6-3 double play.
I thought he beat that. I would have been wrong.
That'll bring up Logan Smith with 2 outs. A great defensive play on the double play there. Dillingham to Sneed to Carson Prieb for the 4-6-3 double play. But at least, like you're thinking, Dave, with the 2 outs, at least we got the run in.
Yeah, 2-out rally now. Let's go.
Logan Smith steps in. Logan 2 for 2 on the night, an RBI single in the third, a single in the second. First pitch swinging, missed for strike one.
Logan swinging for that home run porch out there.
Logan back in from the right side. The pitcher, Jacob comes set, the 0-1 pitch. Smith swinging a miss, strike 2.
Kelly, what's he throwing there? What's got him?
He's pulling a string on his fastball a little bit, and kind of a circle change maybe, but it doesn't have a lot of movement. He's just throwing it by him.
It's up there a little high in the strike zone from the side viewpoint. It's high, you know.
Jacob comes set on the first base side of the rubber. An 0-2 count to Logan Smith with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. The 0-2 pitch. Up and in. Ball 1. Zach Zavala on deck for the Eagles.
A lot of times they'll throw that pitch out. I think he was trying to get a breaking ball to come across in the middle of the field, in the middle of the plate. Just didn't break.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the Eagles are down here in the bottom of the fifth, but not before they get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. After 5 complete innings, the Eagles have their first lead of the ball game, 5-4 over the Wolverines. More Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. The 7, 8, 9 hitters do up for the Wolverines to face off against Wade Denton on in his 3rd inning of relief work for the Eagles. The first pitch fouled off out of play on the first base side for strike 1. Mason Prieb, the catcher, steps in here. 1 for 1 on the night. An RBI double in the second. Walked and scored a run. in the fourth, takes this pitch in there for a called strike. 0-2 the count. Denton comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Up and in, ball one. Preeb led off the inning back in the fourth with a walk. Came around to score after a pass ball and a wild pitch. Check swing, foul ball. He stays alive there because that one was a little up and in on the towards the hands. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Preeb.
That was a little surry. Did not mean to hit that.
Preeb squares around to show the bunt and then pulls it back. The 1-2 pitch. I'm just waiting. I thought he was going to call it a strike eventually. He calls it a ball again. 2-2 now the count. Mazick tried to frame that one.
That looked like a good pitch.
Just a little low. 2-2 the count to Preeb. The 2-2 pitch. Foul ball back out of play. Preeb finding off pitches here in the top of the 6th. Eagles with a 1-run lead. The Wolverines down to their last 6 outs to try to come back. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. For out number 1. 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Wade Denton. That'll bring up Jack Bryan. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. A ground out. Had a sac bunt in the 4th. Steps in here with 1 out. In the top of the 6th inning, no runners on base. Bryan, the left-handed hitter, steps back in. To face off against Denton. Denton comes set on the first base side of the rubber. The first pitch, outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Jack Bryan with Brendan Freeman on deck, the number 9 hitter for the Wolverines. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 the count.
Wade seems to be dealing now.
Hey, Wally, just to kind of paint the picture of the number of Georgetown fans here, there's got to be about at least 50 on the Wakeland side.
Infiltrating the visitors.
Because it's just no room on the Georgetown side, you know.
1-1 pitch, call the ball, 2-1 the count. What a turnout of Georgetown faithful here tonight. The state semifinal. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Bottom fell out of that pitch. That was filthy.
Jack Bryan back in the box from the left side. Denton comes set in the stretch from the left side of the first base side of the rubber. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Full count to Jack Bryan with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Denton comes set. The payoff pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3.
Finally got it.
Oh, and he threw the bat. I'm surprised he didn't get kicked out. The coach came out of the dugout and said something. He threw his helmet now.
Wow. He turned around and had words to the ump, too.
When I was umpiring high school baseball, I threw 1 player out of a game, and it was for that right there.
Strikeout looking for out number 2, the 4th strikeout for Wade Denton. And now there's 2 outs in the top of the 6th for the number 9 hitter Freeman. First pitch swinging, pops it up, out in the short, shallow left field. Hellman 3 steps back into the grass and makes the catch. And the Wolverines down in order here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base after 5.5, boys. The Eagles lead it 5-4. Back with more Eagle playoff baseball in a moment on SHN. we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Eagles. Zavala, Hellman, and Klaus Keismore to face off against Jacob. In for his 2nd inning of work, threw 15 pitches in his 1st inning, giving up 2 hits and a run. First pitch to Zavala, inside, ball 1. Zach Zavala 0 for 1 in the ball game. Reached base on a base on balls in the 2nd inning. Left stranded at second base. Popped out to second in the 3rd. 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. 2-0 count to Zach Zavala. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 5-4 lead for your Eagles.
Nobody working in their bullpen, so.
The 2-0 pitch fouled off back to the screen. 2-1 to count to Zavala.
See Zach be really patient here. Sit on a good pitch.
Jacob comes set. First base side of the rubber in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch to Zavala. He'll lay off, but he takes it for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to the senior designated hitter, Zach Zavala. The winner of this semifinal goes on to face the Friendswood Mustangs Saturday noon, live from the Dell Diamond for the 5A state championship. Your Eagles. The 2-2 pitch, called strike 3. Zavala down looking for out number 1.
He wasn't happy with that call, but he didn't throw his bat.
Did not, and the helmet doesn't get thrown either.
It looked like that pitch just dropped right there before it got to plate. It's a pretty good pitch.
2nd strikeout for Jacob. He'll face off against Eli Hellman now. Hellman 0 for 1 in the ball game. A pop out in the 2nd inning. A base on balls to lead things off in the 4th inning. Came around to score the run. The only run to that inning. Stands in here with 1 out. The first pitch. Outside, ball 1.
See, and that's a pitch that's been called a strike.
And you hear the Wakefield side of the stands yelling, "Come on, Blue!" And understandably. But that's where Yoxic lived. Jacob's a different pitcher.
Right.
The 1-0 pitch to Hellman. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Good pitch. Took just a little off of it. Eli was out in front of it.
Eli back in from the right side. Jacob comes set in the stretch. 1 ball, 1 strike count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 2. The Eagles took a lead, their first lead of the ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning on a leadoff triple by E.J. Davis and an RBI single by Landon Heil. The 2-1 pitch misses outside and low. Ball 3 to Hellman.
Wow.
3-1 count to the shortstop, Eli Hellman. Wade Denton has thrown 43 pitches in 3 innings of relief work. None bigger than that last inning. First time of the night to get the Wolverines down in order. The 2-1 or the 3-1 pitch fouled off. Now a full count to Eli Hellman.
What a ball game.
Jacob comes set. The payoff pitch to Hellman. Fouled off. Now to play on the first base side. Back to the crowd. The relief pitcher Jacob came in through 15 pitches in his first inning of work. 12 pitches already here in the 2nd inning of work. So the Eagle batters seeing a lot of pitches in the relief pitcher. The payoff pitch again, high, ball 4. A 1-out walk by Eli Hellman, the 2nd walk of the night that he's drawn. First walk issued by Jacob, and that'll bring up Ty Klaus Keismore with 1 out. And a runner at first. Ty 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Flew out to right in the 2nd inning. Dropped down a beautiful sac bunt in the 4th. And a visit from the coaching staff from the Wolverines. So we'll take a quick timeout. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN. And the visit is over. Jacob stays on the mound for the Wolverines. Ty Klaus Geismore steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. 1 out and a runner at first. Hellman drew the 1-out walk. He leads off first. Preeb holds him on there. The first pitch to Klaus Geismore. Hellman off running. He'll get down to second base with a stolen base. The first pitch was a ball to Ty Klaus Geismore. 1-0 count to Ty. And now the runner in scoring position.
All right, Wally, tell me what the stopwatch is for in the pocket. And he's timing the pitch, right?
Yeah, he sees how long it takes for him to deliver the pitch.
Yeah, he's timing the motion of the pitcher to see what his delivery is. And now a 1-0 count to Klaus Geismore, the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a bit, strike one. It gets behind the catcher. And a good job of Hellman heads up there as he advances.
Yep.
It didn't get more than 5-6 feet away from the catcher, Mason Preeb. But now on the pass ball, the runner's up to third base. 1-1 count to Ty Klaus Geismore. It would be a huge insurance run for the Eagles if they can get Hellman in from third base.
Huge.
The parent section is all on their feet right now. It's about 200 people on their feet.
The 1-1 pitch to Ty Klaus Geismore. Swing and a miss, strike two. That was a beautiful junkie pitch there by Jacob. Ty off balance, 1-2 the count.
Checking for a foreign substance.
Love to get this insurance run home for the Eagles here in the bottom of the sixth. The 1-2 pitch to Ty. Ball hit into right field, but it's going to curl foul into the stands. 1-2 remains the count. Ty Klaus Geismore, the senior left fielder. Infield in here, Kelly, so an opportunity with 1 out. Ty to punch one through to score that run. 5-4 was the current score. Eagles by 1 here in the bottom of the sixth. The 1-2 pitch. Ty, a grounder out to the pitcher. Hellman's going to get a rundown, but they're going to make the play to first. Hellman returns to third base. So a good job there by Jacob to field his position. 1-3 on the putout for out number 2. And that'll bring up Andon Petty with 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth inning. You're listening to the state semifinal matchup between the Frisco Wakefield. Good night, easy for you to say. The Frisco Wakeland Wolverines representing Region 2 and your Georgetown Eagles out of Region 4, the winner, to face the Friendswood Mustangs on Saturday for a state title. The first pitch to Petty, off the hands, down to first base. Preeb will field it, step on first, and the Eagles are down here in the bottom of the sixth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base after 6 complete. 5-4 your score. The Eagles lead it by 1. The Wolverines 3 outs away from being sent home here at the Dell Diamond. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN. Here we go, folks. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Wakeland Wolverines down to their final 3 outs to try to come back here in the state semifinal. They bring up the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Dillingham, Connor Casano, and Carson Preeb, to face off against Wade Denton on in his 4th inning of work. The Eagles lead it 5-4. 3 outs away from advancing to the state championship ball game on Saturday. The first pitch to Dillingham on the corner for a strike.
There you go. I was about to say he just needs to throw strikes and let his defense work.
Dillingham 1 for 2 in the ball game. Walked in the first, singled at an RBI single in the second. Reached on an error in the 4th. Fouled off back to the backstop for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Dillingham.
Look at this crowd, Wally.
The entire sea of Eagle Blue on their feet down from behind home plate all the way down, even from this side of home plate where we are. As we look down, the Wakefield fans on their feet as well. Wakefield. Wakeland, I apologize. One of the great principals my kids ever went to school under, Michael Wakefield. Wakeland Wolverines. The pitch punched out towards second. E.J. Davis does exactly what you expect out of your senior second baseman there. He does not wait back on it. He goes and grabs the line drive for the out. L4 in the book for out number 1. And the Wolverines down to their last 2 outs. Right fielder number 7, Connor Casano, steps in. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Dropped a beautiful sac bunt in the first inning. Struck out in the second, struck out in the 4th. Steps in here from the left side, here in the top of the 7th. The first pitch, up and away, ball 1.
Brings to mind a conversation we had about a long-tailed cat.
Some rocking chairs.
Some rocking chairs and a level
springs.
of nervousness appropriate for setting.
The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count to Connor Casano with Carson Preeb on deck. He's 0 for 2. Correction, 1 for 3 on the night as he waits on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Up and away. Ball 2. Wade Denton, your 25-5A district closer, unanimously voted upon by the coaches. And to close this one out, now a late timeout by Connor Casano. Denton will step off.
In line for the win, if he can finish it off.
2 balls, 1 strike to the left-handed hitting Casano. Denton comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Outside corner. Misses for ball 3. Coach Vieira wants to know where that one was. The 3-1 count now to Connor Casano. Denton comes set. The 3-1 pitch. A ball hit into center field. Andon Petty gets on his horse, drops back about 8 steps, settles under it for out number 2. F8 in the book. And the Wolverines down to their final out to try to come back here.
This crowd, oh man.
Carson Preeb, the first baseman, 2 up here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. The Georgetown Eagles 1 out away from a 3rd trip to the state championship, looking for their first ever baseball state title. Wade Denton, Carson Preeb, mano y mano. 1 for 3 on the night, a ground out, a fly out, and a double. Left stranded on third base, back in the 5th. The first pitch, outside, ball 1.
Just throw strikes, Wade. Just throw strikes, buddy.
Denton comes set, Preeb from the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball out towards second. Davis gets it on a hop. The throw to first in time. Ball game! Your Eagles win it 5-4. They go to the 5A state championship game on Saturday at the Dell Diamond. What a ball game!
Oh, wow!
E.J. Davis, step up and make some plays, big boy. You made up for that error. He has the triple to lead off the inning, and then gets scored the winning run. Makes 2 big plays in the 7th inning, and your Eagles are moving on to Saturday, 12 o'clock to face off against the Friendswood Mustangs for a chance at a 5A state title. Oh, baby, your Eagles are victorious.
Baby, we are going to see you from the broadcast booth at Dell Diamond Saturday. The Eagles win. Woo! Oh, my goodness.
4-3 on the putout for out number 3. Just the second inning of the ball game that the Eagles retire the Wolverines in order in the night, and it both was the 6th and 7th innings. And so what a way for Denton to close things out to get the victory as he came on in relief. And what an opportunity for this Georgetown Eagle team. The ride continues. They will be here on Saturday, a 12 o'clock matchup with the Friendswood Mustangs for the 5A state title.
We're playing for state, baby.
Oh, I tell you what, this ball team, at no point, Dave, you know, we talked about it earlier, and you were saying the mood never changed in that dugout.
No, their confidence the whole time. It's just like just another ball game. You never saw them get frustrated. There's just pure confidence. They know they can chip away, and that's exactly what they did. When you look at the scoreboard, 3 runs, 1 run, 1 run. You know, that one inning, the bottom of the 5th inning, that 1 run was a big deal, wasn't it, Wally?
Oh, it was beautiful. And it was finally the time we answer without having given up a run in the top of the inning. Quick timeout. Dave's going to try to visit with Coach Vieira and E.J. Davis. We'll be right back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN. That's right, Coach.
That's right.
Hey, we're talking to Coach Vieira down on the field. Hey, Coach, we're up here in the booth, and I tell you what, your team continues to fight. The grit showed tonight. They never changed their mindset. They never changed their approach, and your team comes out again victorious and now going for a state title.
Give it the 3 spot there in the second inning, and then the bats kind of go a little dead, and then you get the big hits there at the end with the EJ with the big triple. You have Mazak with the big knock. You know, it's like we keep talking about for the past 8 weeks or so. These guys just stay in the fight. And they don't ever give up, and so the opportunity to continue to play and to get this Eagle crowd to show up again on Saturday is pretty exciting stuff.
I tell you, EJ Davis stepped up. He made that error, which is very rare for EJ at second base. But then he turns around and makes plays at the bat with that big triple. And then the last 2 outs, 2 of the 3 outs there in the 7th inning, just stepping up like you expect and get from these players day in and day out on this team all year long.
Yeah, you know, it's really exciting for these guys to continue to get to play. You got EJ, he stumbles right there, but then turns around and gets a big hit. And then the pitching, you know, you get Wade that comes in the back end and he shoves it and fills it up and gives us an opportunity on the defensive side as well. So even though we wave for a little bit, you kick one and not play the best defense you've had, the offensive side ends up picking you up and gives you an opportunity to win.
Coach, you always talk about playing where your feet are. That's all you can do anything about, and your kids did that tonight. What's the coin flip say for Saturday?
We're the home team.
All right. Congratulations, Coach, and we will see you at Dell Diamond Saturday, my friend.
Show up, be loud, wear blue.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Coach.
And now that's a visit with Coach Jordan Vieira will be the home team for the state title game against the Friendswood Mustangs.
Oh.
And now Dave is going to try to find EJ Davis for us to have a little quick conversation before we wrap it up. But what a performance of these Eagles. What's he doing?
We'll have to get him after we win the state championship.
I tell you, what a job, though. You know, you heard it from Coach Vieira right there, and just the players, they never changed. They never wavered.
Right.
Like you said, Dave, the magic in that dugout never wavered from a 3-0 deficit early on in this ballgame. And you can't ask for more out of a team to stay poised, even in the face of that in the state semifinal.
Yeah.
But E.J. Davis, all year long, has been steady as a rock at second base. And just see him make that error tonight, you know, easily that could have gotten into his head. And then E.J. turns around and makes a great play.
Davis here.
Hey, E.J., this is Wally up in the booth with Kelly. And, man, I tell you what, I'm gonna ask first and foremost and go to it. Something I saw out of you tonight that I haven't seen all year, and that's an error at second base. But you drop it. You let that go and then follow it up with a beautiful triple, score the go-ahead winning run, and then make a couple of big plays in the 7th inning. How did that feel for you on a big night like tonight?
Oh, it felt amazing. You know, when I made that error at second, I was just like, I need to flush it and just focus on the next pitch. We got out of the inning, and then I was leading off. So, you know, I just wanted to put a ball in play, and I did that. I got the triple, and then I trusted my guy Landon to put a ball in play. He did, and we scored that 1 run.
Any hesitation from you going around second base, or was third base the goal and that was it?
Oh, there was no hesitation at all. I saw V waving his arm, and I just kept going.
And I tell you what, Landon didn't waste any time to make sure you got to score. He took that first pitch into left field. You score the winning run, and now you guys are going to be home team on Saturday going for a state title. How's that feel?
It feels awesome. You know, with how big this crowd was, it felt amazing. So I'm excited for Saturday to see what it's going to be like out here.
Hey, EJ, this is Kelly. Senior
Yes, sir.
season, you're playing for a state championship, my friend. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
See you on
Great job
Saturday,
tonight.
EJ. Good luck to you,
Yes,
boys.
sir. Thank you.
So we wrap it up live here from the Dell Diamond, and some final stats come into the dugout to the booth to talk about. I tell you what, Zachary Mazik, 2 for 3 on the night with an RBI. E.J. Davis, 2 for 3 on the night, scored 2 runs with an RBI, but none bigger than that triple in response to the error. And you heard it from him. Hey, just got to let it go. I've got to drop that, and he did. And what a leadership role that E.J. played there in letting that error go, stepping up with a triple, and then stepping up, scoring the winning runs. What kind of a turnaround is that in the mindset for a young man?
Man, it's just phenomenal, and we've seen it all season out of these Eagles. And what a way to get to that final game, man. Just that grit and determination, and you're one of two teams playing.
Congratulations to the Frisco Wakeland Wolverines. What a great year. At 12-12 in the year, those kids turned around and went 13-2 overall. And what a game tonight. They came out. They came out with all guns blazing, wanting to beat this team and go to the state tournament, the state championship, and these Eagles just wouldn't give up.
I do want to say thank you so much to the staff here at Dell Diamond, the Round Rock Express staff, making us feel at home, making us welcome, providing everything we need for a beautiful ball game. This is a beautiful facility, so thanks to the Round Rock Express and the folks here at Dell Diamond.
And thanks to the Georgetown Eagle Booster Club, the Baseball Booster Club, for making it all possible.
Oh, my buddy Mark Ramos from Georgetown up here. Excited, man.
And I tell you what, I want to know, I wish we could just leave our gear set up tonight, but we'll be back Saturday, 11:30 first pitch, or 11:30 pregame, 12 o'clock first pitch for a state title. Your Georgetown Eagles, the home team, against the Friendswood Mustangs. It's all on the line Saturday morning.
All blue, too. All blue.
But like Coach said, a great turnout tonight. Let's just couple that with an even bigger one. I think the slogan has to be in the next tweets, #open the berm.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to have as many as we can out here tonight. Thanks for joining us live here on SHN. It's been a pleasure to call. It's been a great season, and we can't wait to be back for one more game. We'll have it live here on SHN Sports, and we'll send it out a tweet with the link here I'll send it out tomorrow. But, man, I can't wait for Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Your Georgetown Eagles victorious over the Wakeland Wolverines 5-4 to advance to the 5A state championship ball game Saturday at noon from the Dell Diamond. Have a good night, and remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind.